my bad.
You smell like shit.
It still blows my mind that GTA 5 came out over 12 years ago at this point. A game that defined a generation, and then resold multiple times throughout other generations as Rockstar's very own Add Money cheat. And with their next game looming on the horizon, it's looking to be the most immersive one in the series. So much so that I found myself going back through the HD games once again just to see how they've evolved. And yet I found it hard to go back to GTA 5 after so long at this point because it just doesn't hit the same like it did back when I first played it on my old 360. And yeah, I could add some graphics mods or play the enhanced version or install a bunch of script mods, but that just wasn't going to cut it for me. Nah, I needed to go the next level for this one last playthrough of the game and really put myself all up inside GTA 5. Not like that. By taking one last ride in GTA 5, but in VR. Now, of course, you're probably wondering how the hell I got my hands on a mod like this, especially with Take-Two doing what they do best with these types of projects.
Hey there.
Well, unfortunately for Take-Two, no matter how hard they try, everything stays on the internet forever. So these files are attainable if you just look hard enough. And thankfully, the files that I found not only included the real VR files from Luke Ross, but also the necessary files that are needed to downgrade the game to the version used to run the mod itself. And after simply dragging and dropping the files into the game folder and starting it up, I was able to dive straight into the game in VR.
Okay, it's working.
Come on! In the back!
Whoa.
Come on!
Now, of course, this is just vanilla GTA 5, but with a VR mod, which still looks damn good after all these years. But I wanted to take things a little bit further and make this a way more engaging experience than the base game had to offer, by including some content from later updates that didn't quite make it into story mode, and also liven up the world a bit more than it already was. Now, this wasn't as simple as just popping up GTA 5 mods and downloading the latest stuff to cram the game with. Instead, I had to figure out which version of this game that the VR mod was running with, and then download older versions of certain mods that I wanted to use that were made specifically for this version of the game. So after a bunch of trial and error, I came down to a select few mods that made a lot of subtle changes to the game and yet still add so much to the immersion in a very unique way. Now that I had all of these in the game, I was finally ready to dive into the story.
Our employee of the month, huh? Anyway.
Now, this Lost VR mod doesn't give you full body motion controls like the one that I covered for San Andreas a few months back. And to be honest, I was really skeptical about that, considering I've never really experienced a VR game that has you sitting and playing like you normally would with a monitor, just with a headset strapped to your head. But once I got settled into the game and really started experiencing it and got a feel for everything, it finally clicked for me. This places you directly in the eyes of Franklin, Michael, and Trevor, and their experiences throughout the entire story firsthand.
You think I can clear 2 lanes of traffic? Woo!
Except for the cutscenes, of course. But even then, you get to move around and be a part of the cutscene in some way as the cameraman.
Bon appetito!
Jesus Christ, Trevor, what is that?
Letting you see so many small details up close and personal compared to what you might have seen in the base game. And you might see some stuff you weren't meant to see.
On that note, I'm out of here. You won't be seeing me back.
Whoa! Whoa! Wade!
We need a score!
I found myself taking my time a lot more with some missions, and even took my time exploring the state of San Andreas more often, just to breathe in the world around me more than I would if I was just playing this game on flat screen. Hell, sometimes when I was driving around both on and off mission, I found myself following the laws of traffic by pure accident. It's like the mod tricked my brain into thinking that I was really driving around in Los Santos. And seeing as how you're basically inside of a Rockstar game, some of the best, most enveloping open worlds imaginable in gaming, it feels almost lifelike walking around the streets of Los Santos and seeing the world go by around you.
Yeah, alright, dog. What's up, buddy?
And respond to every stupid little move that I'd make.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
Everything feels to scale and had me feeling this uncanny valley effect when walking around half the time. It was incredible, but like strange all at the same time.
What's up, pal?
And I've never been the type of person to get motion sickness when playing in VR, but after a long play session of this, driving around the city streets and getting in gunfights and chases and such, it really got to me after a while. There are plenty of incredible moments throughout the story that really get you fully invested with this new perspective as well. And it makes a lot of those slower moments in the car with other characters a lot more engaging too.
Mikey, bro, what was your first bank score?
88, outskirts of Carcer City. Took a small franchise for 10G. Yeah, things were easier back then.
25 years ago. Jesus! You, generic goon. What was your first bank score?
You know what? My first job ain't that interesting. I think I was spotting for my brother's scores in junior high. What is interesting is my biggest job. The Bank of Liberty City.
Ah, shit, yeah. I heard you were part of the crew that took that down.
I ran the crew. It was me, my brother Derek, God rest his soul, my pal Michael, God rest his soul, and another boy, Nico, who's probably dead too.
They're all dead. Must have been jinxed, huh?
All I know is I live to tell the tale.
Even when it comes to the shooting and using weapons, it feels great. With the reticle following your head movement, and even with the added option in GTA 5 to switch between regular aiming and aiming down sights, it allowed me to shut one eye when I'm aiming down sights and use my dominant eye to make a better shot. And it made combat feel real and way more tense than before. Taking cover though was a bit of a pain in the ass, but I found that using the sneak option and going in and out of cover worked just as well. And it let me feel a bit more in the action, kind of leaning around cover to take in some shots. The only thing that this is all missing is true motion controls and haptic feedback, of course, or else we'd really be cooking. But at this point, that's kind of a fever dream, especially with the state of this mod.
Damn, that's insane.
I have seen another mod out there that does add motion controls, but it's very much like the San Andreas mod that we covered before, where you can't see your body. And honestly, after playing it this way, I think I'd rather have this type of gameplay in VR over that, especially after doing a full playthrough like this.
Pedal! Pedal for me! Pedal your little heart out! There's a car coming! Get out the fucking way!
Of course, it isn't perfect, and you might run into some clipping issues every once in a while, like with certain vehicles, or even your character. But if you sit down while playing, or just stand in one spot, or just do a quick reposition in VR, it'll fix those issues up really quickly. There are also some missions where VR just isn't possible, or not utilized in any way. Where in some missions it makes sense, like with the torture porn one. Or in some cases, it doesn't really make sense, like with the IAA snatch and grab mission. There are some parts of it that do implement VR, like when you're sniping from the rooftop with Franklin.
I've got you.
But every other part of the mission doesn't implement it. Unless you use Trevor to fly away at the end. And other missions that require you to use a camera of some sorts will play out just like it does on flat screen, with you moving the camera with the right thumbstick. This is most likely due to these missions not implementing first person for these sections in the first place. However, it would have been nice to have some sort of script included to force first person perspective in these scenes, or some sort of workaround. But it's really like a non-issue anyway, because there's always still some way to complete the mission, and I never really noticed any soft locks during my entire playthrough. So if you do end up biting the bullet and playing this game in VR as well, just be aware, not every single moment will be playable from this new perspective, and it can mess with your senses a bit. For a way to play this game one last time, I honestly think this was the best way that I could do it. It gave me a newfound appreciation for this version of San Andreas that I used to run around in for years with my friends in GTA Online. With the few extra mods that I added as well, that really gave this old story mode the much needed facelift, every single moment that I spent in this game with VR felt like I was playing GTA 5 for the first time again.
God damn! What a shot!
Even though I'm pretty sure I played this game all the way through about 4 times now. But this time, I don't know, it just felt completely different. And it even made me appreciate the story a bit more, even though it's still the weakest in the series in my opinion. But the world that Rockstar crafted for the time, and the fact that they were able to cram it on 7th gen consoles will still always be a case of black magic to me. Los Santos and the surrounding state is incredibly detailed, and these added mods made exploring it feel like I was taking a mini vacation in my office. And that's something I haven't even felt with a normal VR game yet, so I felt that I had to yap about it for a bit. Maybe I'll have to take another look around and find those Cyberpunk files, since they're floating around on the net now, and give that a spin. So thank you to the YouTuber I found this from. I'm not gonna say who it is just in case their video might get taken down or something like that, but definitely go check out their video and show them love if you find it, if you want to check out this 12-year-old classic in a whole new perspective. Thank you for checking out this quick little side video I wanted to throw out. I ended up playing this a lot over the holiday break that I took, and it was such a great experience that I felt that I had to talk about it a little bit. If you've got a chance to check out GTA 5 in VR yourself or have thoughts about it, let me know down below. And also, if you want to know my thoughts on the Luke Ross situation, we can definitely talk about it down in the comments. Make sure to like and sub and all that jazz, and also make sure to hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on future videos. And follow me on my other socials if you want, or just join up in the community. That is all from me, and I hope you all stay safe out there. Oh, and one last thing, abolish ICE and fuck Donald Trump. BladeO
Really
out.
want to do this?